Up and rolling. Good morning and welcome to the Hodge Pack on this Black Friday. Hope everybody had a Thanksgiving to remember your stuff and your all the things. Football Fridays, football Thursdays, so much going on. We are presented by Lytle Land and Cattle. Small Walkers have a different race today as the shorts are Black Friday shopping. Misty is out. Josh is out. Probably one in a deer blind that's sleeping, one that's in just a blind, maybe in a bed sleeping. But joining us this morning, along with Hodge, familiar voice Evan Harris, and a former guest picker on the show before, Coach Alan Wardis, be coach for the rest of it. How was Thanksgiving? Did we survive?
We survived it. My house, 5 kids, 7 to 2, and adults, but we made it.
I went over and watched the Cowboys beat up on the Chiefs, or eke one out. It was a fun game to watch.
Well, and again, lots to talk about. Yesterday was full of football. I'm sure folks out there listening full food video here in the Mall of Abilene. People up in the Black Friday has started. I was telling Coach Evan before we came on air that it had been really kind of cool to be back in the day when Black Friday was. And, people are here at the mall. Be sure to get to the Mall of Abilene. We'll talk about the hours during you can shop and do all those things and get purchased. Get those here right in the Mall of Abilene. Lots to cover. We'll dive into that. But Coach KP, Coach Patterson from ACU will join us at the bottom of the hour for our Big Country Electric My Town segment, hosting a playoff game for year 2, second year in a row. Of course, Coach Wardis, tomorrow's a big day. It's the second time in the back-to-back years, not only ACU winning, McMurray winning their conference, Hardin-Simmons winning their conference, ACU winning their conference. But tomorrow's a big day for the Cowboys that you've seen a lot of as they head down to San Antonio tomorrow.
They, again, of course, the NCAA, they're not going to send you too far from home first round. So Trinity and Hardin-Simmons and Mary Hardin-Baylor, they've all had their years of facing off against one another. That'd be a big game. I hope it goes the right way. Hope the good guys win.
Yeah, again, tomorrow, lots happening there tomorrow. Coach KP, they're hosting Lamar tomorrow. He'll be here to talk about that as well. And then our guest picker, I'm excited about this. I was up, went and played golf the other day, and when you get your days off, you take advantage of them. And when you get 80-degree days or 50-degree days, 70-degree days with no wind, you go and play golf when you can. And so I go into the country club area, and I'm waiting to tee off and was trying to find a little snack to get through the round and some energy. And I run into Corey James, the State Farm guy, and he's eating lunch and start talking, and he introduces me to this guy, and he said, "This is named Mel." And I said, "Hey, how you doing?" And we keep talking. I said, "Well, what do you do?" He goes, "I work in NASCAR." And Corey had told me about this guy, Ronell Wilson. He played football at Tarleton, which is ACU, and they're still playing football. The gas guy for Joe Gibbs. I was like, man, that'd be a good guest picker. And I said, "Hey, you going to be here Friday?" A guy that works in Joe Gibbs Racing, our first NASCAR celebrity, will be our guest picker a little bit later. So I thought I
hope he can't tackle me.
He can't
hurt me.
Well, hey, here's how you know you won't tackle. Agree with him when y'all do picks together, and then you probably won't. He won't take you out. But Ronell Wilson will be our guest picker in the 8 o'clock hour again. Missy and Josh are out. Wardis and Evan are in. So we'll dive into our Lawrence headline report. Again, I want to say, because Evan, I'm sure you've looked at it more in honor of Josh, who may be getting to Gels, if you will. We're talking Black Friday. Some happening. One of these champions that was a key part. But Marcus Simeon is heading out. He has gotten the thank you sign. He's got the thank you post on social media. He's gone. Of course, Ardolis Garcia looks like he's gone. But talk a little bit about the trade that took place at Simeon Packing?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is Simeon is 35 years old, a little bit older. Nemo is 32, so it's not a lot of age, but in baseball, that's a pretty big deal. Plus, Nemo bats left. Texas' lineup is much more to the right-handed side, so they needed a lefty. They need another outfielder because, like you mentioned, Garcia's out. Nemo's primarily played left field, so it'll be interesting to see what they do with Wyatt Langford. Do you move him to center? Do you move Nemo to right? So a few things that they're still going to have to end the day. You know, Simeon is a good locker room guy, but he's on there. He has that he's had since I remember playing fantasy baseball back in the day. But at the end of the day, I think that Brandon Nimmo is a good move for the Rangers. They're trying to cut some salary too, and that obviously is part of the puzzle.
Well, and that's one thing, ironically, you wouldn't think that's what you do in Major League Baseball. If you're the Dodgers, you don't worry about salary. You just go down to the other little spot where you have a pocket of money and sign somebody else.
Well, Ray Davis likes his money a little more than I think the Dodgers. They just like spending it.
So. Well, and they like putting rings on it. And so anyway, so that took place. Didn't want to not talk about that as the Rangers are making some moves. And before you know it, spring training and pitchers and catchers will start reporting. And so all that is taking place. One of the things I wanted to talk about, first of all, how was Thanksgiving? I mean, we'll talk about the Cowboys game. Coach Ward, she talked how full of folks. What you enjoyed, the meal you stayed away from, because you had the home experience and then Evan the out of town experience.
Well, we had a little different experience around our house. We cooked steaks, sausage, had a little ham.
I'm sure that happened back on Plymouth Rock. Somebody said,
I mean, you know,
get the Traeger out.
We didn't go with the old turkey. Nobody really knew how to cook it around our place. We have some unique situations, so we stuck with what we know, and it was really good. My sister though did reproduce my mom's cornbread dressing, and it is fantastic. And I do have the recipe. If
for folks,
yeah, it's unbelievable.
All right, so when you say cornbread dressing, like what would be dressing? Is it real sweet?
It's got some sweetness.
Do you have any left over?
No, not one drop.
Oh man, that is
sorry. It's good.
Because I could go play the back nine and just get to 10 and just go straight to Alan's house.
And get a little.
He just told you he has a recipe. You just
I do have to.
I can assure you
have to make.
I can assure you, based on my hamburger helper, which I can knock out of the ballpark, an enchilada thing I made at Christmas last year, I'm not sure I'd want to ruin his mom's dressing. I'd rather just try to go ahead and eat it first and then go from there. But dressing's my favorite part. Obviously, 0 deviled eggs were eaten because those are disgusting. But yeah, so you had the normal, normal-ish.
Pretty normal experience.
What was it like having Thanksgiving away from? I mean, you still celebrated with your wife, but with a few thousand other people in the big city.
She did some research. We made reservations at the place in Fort Worth. Very good. You got to pick between prime rib and turkey, so we each got that and split. Some, the normal dressing and some yams. Okay, not as good. Brussels sprouts were amazing.
Oh no, come on.
I will say the Brussels sprouts were really good.
Oh.
But the bread at this place, and they had pecan butter.
There you go.
And I was like, man, this is good
too
stuff.
Good. Yeah.
Free of not having my mom's or my wife's cooking, at the end of the day, that was pretty good.
Pretty good. Yeah.
So when you said, did you have to make a reservation?
We did. Yeah, it was a little place in Fort Worth. Obviously, no shops around there were open, so you kind of snuck in there real quick and on the road to Jerry World.
So how much, and we'll talk about the game, how much did you jam out? How many songs did you know of Post Malone? Because for most people that may not know, Evan, he enjoys the music on 106.9 Giant, the 80s, 90s country, but you're like a little hip hop rap guy.
I'm cultured, but at the same time, I would tell you, Phone's not really my jam. I didn't know the first 2 songs. I did know the third one because Morgan Wallen sings with him. And
well, see, I thought he was going to sing, maybe surprise us and bring him out for that one song, Somebody Pour Me a Drink.
Yeah, I kind of was hoping that, honestly.
But anyway, so regular Thanksgiving for Coach and myself, Evan, with a bunch of other people he didn't know. For the record, Josh is listening in the deer blind. Nemo will play right, according to Chris Young. He's an OBP guy, desperate for that in the lineup. So we appreciate that's what we like. Josh still connected to the show. He'll probably give us some more hot takes right before he takes down Milwaukee buck, huge buck today out in the deer blind. So do you agree with that statement?
I agree with that. I mean, OB big problem with the Rangers. That's why we're not getting any runs at least the last 2 years since the World Series championship.
All right, there you go. Hot take from Josh from the deer blind. We'll see if Misty has her text later on from any of the deer blinds. The other thing that was happening this past week, big signing in the world of college football. Everybody's watching Lane Kiffin. Where is he going to go? We'll get Coach's take on this, what he would do. Because here's the thing, and I'll compare it later to this same situation. But Lane Kiffin trying to make a decision while trying to find a way to get to the college football playoff and maybe win a national championship. But this past week, a name in the game, not only in college football, but definitely in the state of Texas. Art Briles is back coaching. He signed I'd seen different things, Evan, you mentioned about on the radio or on the internet, a 3-year deal, 5-year deal, not real sure, but signed a deal to go be the head football, which is in Portales, the Greyhounds. You can look at it. You can decide what kind of controversy it is. Kevin Feige is the athletic director there at Eastern New Mexico, who was at Houston with Art. He's a guy that just wants to coach football. And you've probably seen some Portales guys in your day, Coach. Thoughts on the hire of Art Briles?
I think it's a great hire. In fact, the Lone Star Conference got put on notice on Monday when they announced him as being the new coach because he's going to do good.
What's your thoughts?
I mean, he's a football guy, and I mean, he loves it. I mean, you saw, what he did at Stephenville, what he did at Houston and Baylor. He even did it at Mount Pleasant when he was there for a little bit.
Everywhere.
I mean, everywhere he's gone, he wins.
But you think about it, he won out in Italy and made sure it wasn't the soccer football, and won out there. And what I'm about to say is probably a hot take, and I know they're not the exact same because one's an NFL Hall of Famer, one is a Super Bowl champion. Because I've got my other comparison in a minute that I told you about earlier. But you just said the Lone Star Conference got just put on check. I'm not saying it's like the Deion Sanders hire in Colorado, but from a Texas celebrity, from a there's not a lot of people, and you may know because you have so many people that come to your aired out camps. And again, you're wearing the Wisconsin football hoodie today because of the connection you have with a guy at Wisconsin. Nobody else probably can name a coach in the Lone Star Conference. But you can name the coach of Eastern New Mexico now, and it's Art Briles. And people are going to want to go watch ticket sales at Angelo State, ticket sales in that conference, ticket sales at you name the school in that conference just went up when Eastern New Mexico comes to town. Probably didn't happen when Eastern New Mexico came to town last year. But ticket sales will change just because, you know what? Right, wrong, and different. Yes, you can talk about the Baylor stuff. But when it comes to Art Briles himself, he's a legend.
No question.
And so, again, I'm not saying it's probably more like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito as far as twins. They're not identical twins. More so of comparing Art and Deion's hires. But I go back to another great coach that went at one time was the head coach at Texas A&M, was the head coach at Kentucky, was the head coach at your alma mater of Texas Tech, and then he kind of faded out, and that's Billy Clyde Gillespie. And Billy Clyde Gillespie came back into coaching the Ranger Junior College. And you know what I did when Ranger came to ACU to play in that tournament, with the JUCO tournament? I went to watch. Why did I go watch? To go watch Coach Billy Clyde Gillespie coach. Now he's at Tarleton. You know what? I'm going to probably go. People go watch Billy Clyde coach because he's that not character, but he has that career that spans a lot of places that are blue bloods, especially Kentucky. And now Art's getting that chance to do it again at Eastern New Mexico.
Well, I think if you look at Art's offense, you see in a lot of other offenses, people have copied that, and they've done that for years.
No, and so anyway, interesting hire. We'll see. Again, we'll check out the season ticket sales at Eastern New Mexico, see if they've gone up.
Well, they will go up.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. They'll go up, and he'll be speaking at every Lions club between Ruidoso, Roswell, Portales, and everywhere in between. Finally, again, our Lawrenceville Headline Report, LawrenceVilleAvalaineOnline.com, where you can go and buy your new car, truck, or SUV. They got Black Friday sales if you need a new one. But we end with this, the passing of Frank Urban Zeller. Most of us don't know who that is, but you do if I say Fuzzy. Fuzzy Zeller passes away at the age of 74, Masters champion, 10-time winner on tour. His note is, first time he played the Masters, he went and won it in 1979. Fuzzy Zeller passes away again at the age of 74. Legendary golfer and commenter, if you will. When we come back, more Hodgeback. Evan was there. NFL games yesterday loaded. We'll be back right after this.
Commenter.
My question is,
Facebook Live. Remember.
is Art going to cut his hair? Have you seen
That's your boy Ric Flair. Oh, it's gloriously white.
He's got like Art had long hair.
Oh yeah, he looks like a bum right now. I mean, I don't know. I guarantee you one thing. They're going to have players. I don't know how long he'll stay there. I'm sure the coaches of the Lone Star Conference hope it's not but a couple of years and he gets another chance. But if he stays there long term,
Yeah.
and it's the NIL world, and I know everybody talks about Division II and all that, and it's not as prominent, but he'll have players and he'll be making them a deal. He'll say, hey, you come here, I'll make you a lot of money. You don't have to stay. I'm just basically I'm going to use you and you're going to use me.
And I guess you got NCAA.
That's the way he looks right now. Got a beard and scruffy.
Hey, Division II.
He's been hanging out in Italy where they just hang out. I mean, yes, whatever. Do what?
Can you pay at the Division II level as NIL?
Oh yeah.
All the way across?
Oh yeah. You can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. And he'll have some backing from Baylor people.
Well, there's oil money out there in New Mexico.
I know, but he'll have backing from friends, and he'll have money, and he'll have players.
He'll probably take a chance on guys that.
Well, he will, but he'll also probably have to be really with them in the fact that, hey, look, because he'll have some guys, because he's looking for fast guys and fast guys. Like Ray Swisher, if they're fast. But that's not necessarily true. But it just, as far as the football coach, I don't know if we can get this guy in school. He's fast, he's smart.
Yeah, Baylor, every one of them.
They're all fast. No, and he even said that in his. Well, I'm looking for some fast guys, and they're like, so basically, if you're a slow guy, he probably ain't gonna recruit you.
Yeah.
Up in the Panhandle of Texas,
You gotta be running a sub 4.4.
You got to be able to run, but when he gathers all those fast guys up,
Hey, the answer is
they cannot. We're not on air. Right?
We're on Facebook Live.
Okay. But I mean, they're going. And if the Electra do good, and the bottom line is I don't know what went on at Baylor. Rob known him 40 years. He's a good man.
I'm 100%.
He's a good man, and there's no, what happened, and I hate it.
I'm the one of my texts that doesn't, they all hate him. I think he's terrible. And I'm like,
Well, he's
y'all are a little short-sighted.
Yeah, he's a good man, cares about kids.
Yeah.
And I mean, people say all that about girls, whatever. Well, he's got 2 daughters, and I've got 2 daughters, and all that. I mean, things go haywire,
Yeah.
and I understand. Hey, and if that was to happen to something like that was to happen to one, would I be mad? And I mean, it shouldn't happen to anybody, or
Sure.
whatever. That should not happen to anybody. But if it does happen, I mean, I know I coached for all those years, and you cannot keep up with those guys 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Welcome back to the Hodgeback Sports Life and everything in between, right here on 106.9 The Country Giant. Big shout out to Greg Austin and the fam. Studio looks good. Christmas trees up. And for Christmas, one of the things that's on the wish list is the Dallas Cowboys finding a way to make the playoffs. Yesterday, they have a big 31-28 win over the Kansas City Chiefs. We're glad that you're with us this morning again. Hodge, Evan Harris, and Coach Wardis in for the other crew, the other part of the pack, Josh and Misty, together with the fam. Yesterday, we'll talk real quick. 2 big games outside the windows of the, I guess you would call the Kansas City Chiefs and the Dallas Cowboys, the main course, if you will, of yesterday's slate of games. Some are thinking it was the original versus the new America's team and the Chiefs and the Cowboys. The early game, were you able to watch TV at the place you were eating at?
So I didn't watch any of the first half, but in the second half, when I got to the Cowboy game, we watched all the second half in that little area.
And yesterday, we saw this, and the difference was the Eagles made it to the Super Bowl and then had to move coordinators. And then a couple of years later, then they win the Super Bowl. Lions lose both coordinators. Aaron Glenn's not having near the success that Ben Johnson is. But the Lions have maybe a struggle. But the Green Bay Packers looked really good yesterday. Jordan Love, 4 touchdown passes. Not to go with him because I thought Lamar might, do something with flip. That's a whole nother group. We'll get to that in a minute. Are the Packers on the way to maybe bypassing the Eagles as the best team in the NFC?
Well, I don't know. I don't keep up with it that much, to be honest. But yesterday, more so than even Jordan Love, which he played very well. But I tell you, I was impressed with their defense. Their defense is playing a lot better. And they were flying around and making some stuff happen. So I don't know if if they're bypassing anybody or not, but NFL is so even, and people, that's the way they want it. So I think that they've got a good chance. They're doing good right now.
I think they're really good. I think they're a great team as well. But at the same time, I mean, the Packers were up, and I do agree that defensively, Michael Parsons, he was on.
He did, it's not our defense playing better because then it would really make you a little more upset that he's not there. But you're right. The defense played well. Of course, Jahmyr Gibbs goes off and scores 50 points last week. You probably knew he wasn't going to do that again. But again, 30-1, 24. The Packers now go 8-3-1 with the tie against the Cowboys that, again, a crazy night that Hag and I were at. But I bring that up because the Lions are 7-5. And to me, as you move into, and we'll get to the Cowboys, I promise, when you start looking at, you're going to need the Cowboys can go on a run and not lose another game. They're still going to need some help. And I don't know where that help. I think it's Psalms 100 something. I don't know where my help comes from.
Their help's going to be hard to find.
And they're going to need the Lord to come in to play. because there's a lot of help that they need, because you look at the 49ers and the Lions, who is that going to be? Because right now it would be the Packers, but I think the Bears are eventually going to, maybe the slipper won't fit all night, like in maybe that pumpkin might pop up. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But again, big game yesterday for Jordan Love and Jared Goff. They struggled. They lose 31-24. The other game, the Joe Burrow is back for the Bengals. The Bengals win 32-14. The Ravens, we are on a possibility to not have. I think Josh Allen and the Bills still make it, but there's a possibility that the NFL playoffs will be without Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes.
That's unreal. I mean, it's for at least the last league 7 years. But I will say the Ravens didn't look good last night.
Not at all. I think I knew they would get some help back with Lamar, Lamar being back, maybe fully and all those things. But I did not see that. I did not see 32-14 happening yesterday. So there you go. There's the two sides. We will not compare either of those two games to Coach Borges' mom's dressing. We'll call it. Well, I'll tell you, the Bengals-Ravens game were a deviled egg because I needed Lamar to do good. That's how crappy that game was. So, and deviled eggs are still awful, and I will stand by that.
Deviled eggs are good.
Oh, man, they're dirty diapers. Anyway, the white part's the diaper, and the blit is the dirty. All right, so let's go. Evan, you were there. You were on site. You got a concert at halftime. The Cowboys, everybody got a little nervous. First offensive possession, Dak gets a little heat, hit, boom, score 2 plays. And of course, if you're around some negative people on the internet, they're like, oh, it's over. And last week, we spotted the Super Bowl champions 21 points. The Cowboys yesterday, 31-28, and had to have a game where you had to compete in a way that, okay, the back's against the wall. You have to come out fighting. It's 4th and goal. You get a great stop. I told Bobby Easterling, I said, well, you better know where Kelsey is. Kelsey, touchdown. Great game yesterday. Cowboys finding a way to keep looking to find their help.
Dak put on a clinic. I thought he looked really good after he threw that first pick. I mean, he was, of course, it helps to have Pickens and Lamb. Don't get me wrong. It helps to have those guys. And Javonte Williams, I think he may be the best pickup they had in the offseason.
Well, I think it'd be hard to battle between the two, between Pickens and Williams on the two additions for the Cowboys. But you're right.
And I hadn't watched 3 or 4 games. I know that sounds crazy. I watch college football, but pros I don't keep up with that much. Although I will say this, Cowboys are getting better and better every week.
Well, go ahead.
Well, I think the biggest thing that on defense is obviously Quentin Williams stuff in the middle.
Great addition.
With Clark.
Great addition.
And then Overshown, I'm impressed. I mean, he runs to the football. I mean, he flies to the football.
And I'm not saying, and don't get me wrong, and I don't like when you're on year 5, people saying you're an automatic Hall of Famer, which is what they're saying that Mike is going to walk into. Not saying that he won't. Any kind of time you have a lot ahead of you in your career, you can make a couple of dumb decisions off the field and ruin you. Not saying that Michael would do that, but when you start saying automatic Hall of Famer at 5 years in, he's great. I'm not saying Overshown's Micah, but what Overshown is bringing is pretty stinking impressive.
And he doesn't talk about it on his podcast every week.
No, he's not. He's Overshown on the field, not Overshown off the field. And that's what I like about him. And the secondary is playing a little bit better, which at one time was like, I used to joke when there was a stretch where Eberflus was giving up points, like handing out, canned goods. I said, you would not want the secondary of the Cowboys to watch your kids because they would lose them. Like if you hired them to be a babysitter, they would lose your kids. But now they're playing. It's like they've been rejuvenated. And I don't know. And again, we were there for the Monday night game where we were like, oh my gosh, who is this team? And then now, and again, you can't hide playing with some emotion, but they've also added players to the defense and have gotten better.
And I will say Scheimer is the ultimate, I think, just players coach. He has done a very good job of saying, hey, guys, it's football. Follow X's and O's, stick to business, love each other, have a good time. And I think that's what they're doing too.
And I'm going to say this, and I said this, and I'm not just saying this because he's in the room. He reminds me of Coach KP. And this is why. He could have had other head coaching jobs early on. When he was talked about, when he was getting about the Cowboys job, they said, guys, he was the Ben Johnson back in a few years ago, but he turned him down. Well, he's gotten this opportunity, and now he's taking advantage of it. And I think he's the right hire for what. And some people were like, man, they're hiring Schottenheimer, and now he is the guy. Coach KP waited his time to get and look at what he's doing with it. And so I think you can say what you want about Jerry. Jerry got that one right.
I will say Jerry this year, between Thickens, Javonte Williams, the Quentin Williams addition, all these guys. I mean, I know the Micah deal hurts a lot of fans, but I think the pieces that he's put together and hiring Schottenheimer, he's made a few more better GMs. I'm not ever going to say he's a good GM, but he has made some better.
Oh, and Will McClay, congratulations to that guy for being the puppet, probably more of Jerry.
Yeah, he has to put up with that. I'm sorry.
But in that, I was listening to a show this week, and they said whose game tomorrow is the most important for? And some said the Cowboys, some said the Chiefs, some put individual players. And one of the guys said it's Jerry Jones. And I agreed, and this is why. I know a lot of people think Jerry Jones's head's pretty big already. But if Jerry can find a way for the Cowboys to get into the playoffs without Micah, after the trade and all the nonsense that came with that, and find a way, let's say they run the table. They play the Lions next. And then they've got the Chargers. The Vikings game is no longer a scary game. The Commanders, you probably won't see Jaden Daniels. And the Giants, Jameis Winston going to be bringing the message, but he ain't playing very good. He's going to turn it over a few times. The rest of your schedule, if you can get by the Lions next Sunday, run the table. If they get into the playoffs without Micah, through all that they've gone through, there's not going to be a better fake Jerry to listen to ever.
I'll tell you, the one thing is you're still talking about the Cowboys, and they can find a way to mess up a lot of things. And that is the only thing that worries me. But number 4, and the offensive line keeps them upright. I think at the end of the day, that's really where you're going to get wins from is 4.
And I think these got a chance. Now, I think Matthew Stafford's probably going to help run that table and probably will win the MVP. But I think Dak's got a chance to voted second. But I think he's got to be in the, Josh said it in the text, Dak's got to be in the MVP conversation.
Yeah, don't just look at the touchdowns. Look at those interceptions. He doesn't have any. I mean, I know he threw one on that first drive, but if you watch he doesn't make a lot of mistakes this year, and that's been the biggest thing.
All right, so they're 6-5-1. We saw last week, be sure you got prime because they play Thursday. Good night. They play Thursday. I mean, they're just like they don't know what day they're going to play on.
During Christmas parties, hopefully they have a TV.
Hey, you're in luck. We know where we're going to be. The 5 will be fine there. So they can win that. Again, the Vikings, Chargers, Commanders, and Giants, all winnable games. So they can get to 10-5. No, that'd be 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, get to 11-5-1. That probably gets them in.
I like it, but I won't just get one.
I agree with that. And Coach KP one time tomorrow. Come back. We'll have Coach Keith Patterson, the ACU, getting ready for home playoff game number 2 back to Boston. We'll be back right after this.
All right. Good. Hey, man.
All those.
How are you? Good. I can see it.
Are you got troops ready?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Ready? Yeah.
Possibly you want to be in on this one.
Football. I peek at the pro football. You're like me. I peek at it, but just because I don't want to watch somebody.
Hey, for the record, that's a compliment on Schottenheimer.
Well, thank
I just
you.
want you to know that.
I'm not coach. I just watch it if I'm available. I follow college football, obviously. The NFL needs to come in to be good.
They do.
That's why they do.
Yeah. And they've got, I mean, in the grand scheme, well, the irony is, and the reason I say compared to him too, is compared to what most of these teams are hiring, Schottenheimer's older.
Yeah, well, that's for sure.
Because you look at all the other guys that they're hiring now,
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
It's kind of funny when coaching started. Now you can't get done because you don't have enough experience.
Right.
Now experience now, dude, you're too old.
right.
They know how to work.
Oh, yeah.
Follow the NILs and,
They tweet.
That's right.
and they don't mind doing it, you know, we're like, ugh.
That's right. And what's weird about all that, at the end of the day, it's still about football.
It's supposed to be.
It's still about football.
It's not,
That's
but
exactly
it's
right.
not a lot of time, but it's supposed to be.
That's exactly.
Yeah, no, you have to, there is a football element. Isn't there a football element to it?
That's a,
Yeah. But that's, often said, you know, but I think that about anything else, there were some things that were true 50 years ago, they're true today, they're going to be true 50 years that have changed. Coach, but in person, realize, okay, what has not changed? What is a truism? And then, and be true to those things, like whatever that is. And then what has changed, and then be willing to change. You know, because if you can't, but the true, I mean, you got to block and tackle.
That's right.
And you have to do some fundamental things that are always going to be fundamental. And then there's something, I mean, hey, you can't really run the wing team.
Yeah, the best thing that happened to me in my career was having to be a defensive coordinator with Gus Malzahn, Dana Holders.
Yeah, all those.
I've worked with all that. I mean, Chad Morris, Graham Harrell, Sonny Cumby, like Billy Napier, you name it.
Yeah.
And
They innovate, you have to go.
That's right. So I had to innovate.
I got
That's right. And I call it adapt or die.
absolutely.
You have to adapt.
See the difference between the two, and then go, hey, we're going to change here, but we're not going to change this because this is a truism. I mean, this is going to be, but yeah, we'll change this area. You know, young guys come to you, hey, we got to change it. We don't have to wholesale change. We just have to change what's changing.
That's right. And that's the whole problem with college football. There was just too much change too fast. I mean, when you have portal, NIL, and it all hit at the same time.
Yeah, the great flood. Yeah. Well, it can't sustain itself.
I don't see how.
Now, it's not going to go back either, but
Yeah.
they got to have some guardrails of some kind. And I don't know what those are going to be. They got to figure it out. The biggest thing, I mean,
Welcome back to Hodgepodge Sports Life and everything in between. When you had time for break, time we highlight a little program, and today we are highlighting a familiar face. It's to be a familiar face because for people, football may be over, and it's always good to be talking post regular season and postseason football. And Coach Keith Patterson, ACU head football coach, joining us in our Potosi Live studio. Coach, playing still is always
Exactly right. We're practicing on Thanksgiving. It's always a good thing. We had, there's 105 out of 129 teams in FCS football yesterday that were not practicing. So we were one of the 24 who were. So it's a great day.
And the hard part is at the college level, nobody, like in high school, when you lose your last game, you at least get to go maybe play basketball or something. Those guys aren't getting to do that, and you're still playing. And again, shout out, we'll talk more high school football. A lot of high school football kids and teams still playing. But one tomorrow is 12 o'clock, Lane Lamar. Coach, you're getting to host a playoff game for the second year in a row to play. but knowing that routine at home stays the same.
Yeah, no doubt. I think one of the things that I've stressed since I came here, one of our goals every year was to go undefeated at home, because if you can do that and you can go on the road and win some games, you're going to be playing meaningful football in the month of November. With a win tomorrow, if we can play well and go 1-0 this week, as we talk about all the time, this group of seniors that are 18-4 at home with 4 losses to ranked opponents. 1.3 points, 7 points. So very proud of what they've been able to accomplish at home. And when you look at it, if it can do that against non-FBS competition, we played some of the most challenging schedules in the history of ACU, Dakota, North Dakota State, Idaho, teams, and all of our non-FBS games. These young men figure out a way to play well tomorrow and win that game. They'll be 30-13 against non-FBS, A&M, Missouri, Texas Tech, to say the least. Tulsa, North Texas. When you look at it, it's 30 in the last 4 seasons.
Well, and that's so big. And you talk about the end of your season. You play Charlton at home, and then you get Utah Tech at home, and then you go on the road for a little bit. And it's not like you stayed in the state of Texas on these road games. You had to get on an airplane. You had to go. And I say all the time, every road game, which again, the importance of hosting a playoff game, every road game comes with challenges that you hope work out. And being able to do that, to then come back home for a playoff.
There's no doubt. It's a very zone. You're just looking. I looked at the turnovers we on defense at home. It's something like 14 turnovers and 8 victories this season. But man, we played really well at home. And our offense do that. They score about, on the average, about 40 points a game when we force those turnovers. So there's just something about the intensity in which our guys play with at home. Obviously, at some point, we got to learn to carry that on the road as well.
Well, and one of the things that appreciate Evan Nemick, of course, Evan does such a great job at ACU. You had a 29th win last week, and passing becoming 7th on the win list of coaching legend Tonto Coleman.
Yes, I feel like I know Tonto. I do a history of ACU, and actually a history of Abilene, history of ACU football, and I always found it very interesting. I mean, right when he left in 1949 to go be an assistant for the head football coach, after playing here, he was from Roscoe, Texas, and came to ACU, and he left in 1949 to go be an assistant at the University of Florida. He went on to become the commissioner of the SEC. And when he passed away, he was the commissioner of the SEC. I believe came back to Abilene, Texas. When he passed away, the current commissioner, Tim McWhorter, flew to Abilene, Texas, and presented the university with a $10,000 check, $1,000 meet school in the SEC, and said, "Send us more men like Tonto Coleman." So what an honor.
Oh, wow. And so there you go, a little trivia right there for folks that did not know the SEC can trade all the way back to ACU and Tonto Coleman. Coach, tomorrow, the only thing a little different, 12 o'clock kickoff, more like I guess the big noon kickoff here in Abilene tomorrow. Talk a little bit about Lamar as you get ready. And to me, I think, and again, Coach Waters, you feel free to jump in. You've been in a lot of big games as well. One of the challenges, and this is just me as a coach that did it for a little bit, but not at the level y'all are at, is to not look at the team that you already beat in the bye bracket. How do you focus and get ready? Hey, guys.
I think about a month ago, we started casting a vision because we were really already in the playoffs the first week in November. It was kind of like the Cowboys.
Yeah.
We knew that, hey, this is it, man. Like we gotta go 4-0 in the month of November, and we did it. And so that positioned us for where we are now. So we've already played one playoff season in our mind, and we just took it one at a time. And I think that's the one thing that our players have been able to focus and do. We have to look ahead. We're not good enough team, in my opinion, to drop down to 70 or 80% of our performance level and win a football game. We need to come and play hard. And so therefore we just give everyone that we play great respect. And Lamar has a brand new coach from a couple of years ago, I believe. And man, he's come in and done a great job. And I think it's just great for FCS football. I mean, you got us and Stephen F. Austin, Tarleton, and Lamar all in one of the 24 teams. And I just think it's great not only for the state of Texas FCS football, this region of the country, and it speaks volumes about the caliber of football that's being played.
Well, in the FCS, a bracket football playoff for a long time, and it took the big boys a little bit longer to figure out that it is good for football to have the bracket. So what will look like tomorrow? What can we expect from our, I guess maybe not necessarily Lamar, but as tomorrow comes, difference in moving on to play Stephen F. Austin?
Yeah, we got to keep doing what we do well, and Lamar is very, very athletic, play really good on defense. They try to, they try to minimize their mistakes offensively and just take what the defense gives them, and then they try to play outstanding defense, which they do. They're very athletic on defense. They do a great job getting off the field on third down. They get off the field on third down about almost 70% of the time,
Wow.
which is big. Our offense does a good job of converting downs. So it'll be that as we just quit calling it keys to victory. The last month we just said, look, the plan is number one, the ball. We need to be +3 in the turnover margin. Right now, coming into this game, we're +9 in the turnover. They're +1. So that's going to be, and we've done that at home. We played extremely well.
Again, I can't emphasize enough. Yes, you got the Thanksgiving break, so folks in Abilene, come help maybe those kids that have gone off to go eat turkey with their families to fill up the stadium tomorrow at 12 o'clock, to be able to be loud and give a chance to, because I think that's one thing that ACU does a good job, and you know this, Coach, at Hardin-Simmons, there is a home advantage when you have a crowd that's on your side.
Well, sure, no doubt. And I mean, that's why the home team wins a lot. And they're comfortable with that bracket. What Keith was talking about, a thing that people don't realize, you look at the whole bracket, but you don't have to beat all those teams. Half of those teams are going to get beat this week. You just have to play who you're playing. Because, you don't go to state because you can't play them.
Yeah.
Whoever back in the high school days, no use in worrying about Permian. They may not make it that far, who knows? So but being at home, like Coach said, it's a big deal. Playing well at home. We used to always really preach to you got to somehow play good on the road as well and have a good plan for that. And
I think that's what's great about the scenario you have. You never want to peak early. Nobody says, great job, here's a go ball in October. But if you start moving in the right direction in November and heading into obviously possibly December football is in the right direction. And I think one of the good things as you ended the regular season on the road prepares you for a playoff run. And now getting to, again, you play good because you want to host that playoff game.
I've been asked about, our schedule. We're number 2 in the country this season of beating ranked opponents behind North Dakota State. We played and beaten 4 ranked opponents, played at TCU, at the University of Tulsa. So I like playing the tough early schedule because it exposes our weaknesses. I'm not worried about playing well early in the year. You got to play good all year long, but I just like playing the tough. And I think it's what's best for our university. We're a small private institution, and you got to be able to generate revenue. That's one of the ways of doing it, playing FBS opponents. And so you're exactly right. I believe it or not, I still see us improving a football team in the month of November.
Right, and I think that's exactly. I go back and I didn't get over, but remember the Giants win the Super Bowl because they get on a roll and they go in the Super Bowl. Nobody cares. we're going to give you a different swing because you finished 9-7 in the regular season. No, it still fits the same, and probably will be the reason Eli Manning gets in the Hall of Fame because of that second Super Bowl and getting hot at the right time going into the playoffs. And I think that is why it's one of the huge things for y'all. Yes, because you can even look at Tarleton. Okay, you got the bye, which I still don't understand all that, and I'm not going to try to figure that out. Able to continue to play and not take a week off, I also think is an advantage.
I do too. A year ago, we win the championship, and I think we were the 15th seed. And same thing this year, which I think it all works out exactly the way it needs to work out. Coach made a great point. I don't have to beat all the other 23 teams. I just got to beat one this, and then like I say, that field is cut in half. And same thing. Win next week, and then the field's cut in half. You just keep doing that. We just got to win 5 games.
That's right.
And we'll end with this. Well, I got 2 more. I think one of the coolest things about it. Well, let me ask you this first, and then I'll end it with that. Does the game? How does it change different from a 12 o'clock start? Just bump everything up on the itinerary?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Like we always follow the same schedule, whether we play in the evening 7, we play at different times all year long, and we just back everything up an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, move something to Friday. So there'll be some things with a noon kickoff that we do this evening that we would typically do in the morning, an evening game on Saturday. So follow the same routine, and we have a pretty good approach to the way that we lead in. In my my uncle played for Chuck Berlitzer at the University of Oklahoma. I remember that they would wake up and have a pancake breakfast and walk to the stadium, and I remember that as a young kid. To me, college football is meant to be played around noon, 1 o'clock.
That's right. I agree 100%.
And I get it that we're trying to get TV games and things like that, but man, I love playing because I think that's when college football is meant to be played.
Well, and I encourage you to get there. There's some other games on. You can bring your phone, watch them on your phone. Be at the ACU tomorrow. Don't make any excuse. Fill up the stadium tomorrow as they continue to try to continue their season. And this is what I want to talk about. It's really cool. You could win a couple, and I think this is what I love about this here. You've got Harvard and Yale in this bracket. Pretty cool in the football.
The oldest teams in the world or whatever.
Yeah. But anyway, Coach, we appreciate you taking time. We could literally do it whole, and I just let these 2 guys talk football, and the people they would be a blast. But appreciate you taking the time. I'll be there tomorrow. Looking forward to another big game tomorrow and a Wildcat win.
You bet. Thank you,
Coach Keith Patterson, Coach Wardis, and Evan, get back in here. I'm going to throw out a question. Misty's not here. We'll have Misty's bag after this. Tomorrow, 12 o'clock kickoff. ACU and Lamar will be there. We'll be back right after this.
Well, Lamar Cardinals.
Yeah, kids are excited. I mean, how can you?
Well, they gotta be.
That's right.
Well, and I know and I don't like always talking about it, but how many of those kids that are on this team are experiencing first?
Because you only stood up 60, so probably I'm gonna say 40% of them. 40%.
Which is cool. I mean, which is huge for the guys that are used to it. So, hey, guys, we can.
That
Y'all get suited up 64.
64.
Well, that's hey
Get it in your head.
You don't want anything like in the background?
We're good. We probably need all the help we can get.
1, 2, 3. There you
Appreciate it.
go.
Thank
No
you.
problem.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
we could only suit up 53.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe
Maybe 54. But 53 is all.
64 is not right.
Yeah, you get
Yeah. It's
you do it, man. Trying to figure it out.
44.
That's it.
Yeah, but then you.
Here you're regular, you can only travel 7.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a
So when I was suit up and
I
settle,
always,
lost
I'm
it,
not
and
even,
then
I've always
I'll
been
write
right.
something every Saturday.
Oh, good.
You probably have to take 3 quarterbacks.
well, the run of depends unless you just want to take a chance on that too.
Yeah.
I mean, it just,
I'm sure it's a gamble on it.
It just depends. I mean, you got that, but
There's
you got
strategy.
running backs and linebackers that play special teams too, but they may not be necessarily a frontline player. And all of a sudden, you're like, well, we can't, we have to be starting on about 3 special teams. Yeah, well, we're gonna have to, somebody else gonna know, you know, and, like, well,
Yeah.
close.
If we get to our quarterback, it's not gonna matter.
Yeah, that's true. But
There's a lot of teams in that same boat though.
I should say this, that we're good at these pre quarterbacks.
Yeah. Y'all. And you know what? You're right, of course, when they be.
Well, does
But
Graham have any eligibility left? He's probably in there. Can he still sling it?
No, with,
the, you know, the whole, there's been times where, man, I mean, when we were doing this, we could only take 53. That's 10 left. And there's times where I let some guys out, and they're like, you know, been playing all year, you're like, well.
I'm sure that's real hard at Hardin Simmons because y'all suited up 255
Well, it
people.
was hard, it was hard. But the Robert, he tells a story, make it quick. There's a 17 quarterback in Texas when he went there. He said the only reason is because we didn't have 8. If we'd had 8, I'd been 8. Well, and he finally, just through attrition, a couple of years later, they go to play a game at UCLA. Early in the first quarter, first guy's laying on his face out there. Not long, and still in the first quarter, the second guy's laying on his face out there. And he said the offensive coordinator literally looked at him on the sideline and he said, crap. You know, I can't believe I'm fixing to put you in a college football game. And he goes out, and the rest of the story is he left Texas as the all-time leading passer in school history. He never came off the field, but they took 3, they were glad they had 3 that day. Because their first 2 were left there on their face.
You gotta be ready.
You don't know.
Sonny come to each
Starting number 7. Finally got that way.
and then gets the opportunity.
He only beat,
So where they got
Aaron Rodgers, Marshawn Lynch, and Deshaun Jackson in the Holiday Bowl in 2004. So, yeah.
Well, hey,
Appreciate it.
have a great day,
Thank
man.
you, you too.
Yeah, it's a big day anymore.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, Coach.
See you guys.
He's done a good job.
It is time for as we get rolling direction. Appreciate Coach and joining us this morning. And again, shout out to Evan Nemick. He always hooks us up, getting Coach scheduled at 12 o'clock. It's exciting times again. McMurray wins their conference. Hardin Simmons again playing tomorrow against Trinity. Tomorrow, ACU hosting Lamar. And you start thinking about it. And of course, we're going to get to Misty's Bag, brought to you by Mulligan's in just a moment. But the success that he's had in this Division I setting has been pretty impressive at what ACU's doing.
They've done a great job. Got good players. I get to go out and watch them practice every now and then, and all the coaches are good friends of mine. So they've done a really good job of, getting a team together. And
I think that's one thing that's huge.
Yeah, they got good players, and they're doing a good job. It's going to be. I think they'll make a little noise here. It is kind of, we talked about it a little bit, but all how NCAA deal, Charlton is 11-1.
Right.
You know, they lost one game by last second field goal, and they're ranked, you know, and they got the bye and all. It's kind of hard to figure out how that all happens, but you just got to play who's in front of you, and that's what Keith alluded to, and they will. They'll do good.
So, anyway.
Yeah, no, I agree. The ACU, phenomenal, lots of talent. Coach Patterson's done a great job of bringing, you know, he's had a new offensive coordinator every year.
Every year.
Right, and taking advantage of
That's
the
a
portal.
huge thing.
You know, we talk about the portal at the FBS level. He's taking advantage of the portal at the FCS, bringing in guys that are playing Power 5 at the time. Now it's, you know, only 4. But bringing in those guys that want to play, that it's no longer, well, I've got to be in the SEC, I've got to be in the Big 12. I want to play football and meaningful football, and they're getting meaningful football tomorrow at ACU. And so, all right, now we can't, but we cannot pass up an opportunity to highlight Mulligans. Again, head over to Ben Ritchie Drive this weekend to watch some great football today. I'm sure Kyle will be tuned in tonight with the Texas and A&M game kicking off tonight. Head to Mulligans. Of course, they've got buy one, get one on Wednesdays, karaoke on Tuesdays, and, of course, all sorts of specials and great food this weekend and all the time at Ben Ritchie Drive. All right, I figured since it's Black Friday, I'm going to throw out this question. If you could have one store to yourself, unlimited spree, one store to yourself, the Black Friday shop, even with some deals in it, what store would that be?
Man, I'd probably do Dillard's, and is because I have to wear it, not on Fridays because it's casual Friday, but most of the days of the week I have to wear a suit. And if I could go on a spree and not have to spend all that money out of my own pocket, then I'd probably go to Dillard's.
You would.
It's boring, but I get it.
No, I get it too. I mean, I would, you know, Academy or something like that. I don't know. Unlike him, I don't have to dress up every day. So,
You can do all the hoodies you want.
all the shoes, tennis shoes, they great. So.
All right, so you got Dillard's. He's got a pretty good type place. You know, I think you want to be at a place that has a variety. That way you can kind of load up and enjoy. And now for me, you know, so many drivers, but like if you were at DJ Super, you could load up on clothes, load up on goggles that you would never need them again. Problem is that you got there to fit you in case you wanted to get fitted. That wouldn't be bad.
That'd be great, actually. Yeah. But
now I also think Best Buy here in the mall, because you could just go ahead and knock TVs, your cameras. I mean, get you a new computer. If you need a fridge, I mean, Best Buy would probably be
Video games.
Games. You might not even have to leave. If you could just pop in and get some food in there, you can go ahead and just make your own.
Yeah.
And just say that. That would be another one. If you had to live in a store, what would it be?
I mean, probably somewhere like Shields in Colony. You know, I mean, I know they're not sponsors, so
Right.
we're not allowed to really say that. That's probably where I guess you ride the Ferris wheel clothes you can want. You can probably go putt around somewhere, like you can make up your own putt course.
Oh, no
there.
doubt.
It'd be fun. So.
And again, you could do that in a sporting goods store, you know, here. Now, if I was in the mall, I would still probably say Best Buy. I could hang out in the mall and Best Buy. I mean, you'd have everything you need. Then you'd hope you'd have a friend at like one of the food places here that you could pop in and grab food, because as long as everything's open, I mean, I could make a pizza at Sbarro, or I mean, or Dante's.
Yeah, Dante's.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, awesome.
I could do that. Pop down, get a present.
Yeah, you could do that.
Back in the day, they used to have a Chick-fil-A in here, but no loss.
No, yeah, but you got, you could do the pretzels, pizza. Chinese food is down there on the other end, so you'd have food options.
Well,
Yeah.
now you're talking about being in the mall.
I'm saying, if I'm here in the Mall of Abilene, there'd be a lot.
Mall
Yeah.
would be great.
I will
You
say,
get your Dillards.
when you asked this question, I knew which one you were picking. It was a golf store. There's just no way
No,
that
that's
you're
true.
not going to pick that.
That's true. But if I'm in the mall, I would probably see if Best Buy could get me a simulator. I'd have my own golf club, so then you could just simulate.
Yeah.
Into, I'm sure Best Buy you can, but even if it's, I mean, it's not a TrackMan probably, but
Movie with that kid that he bought tons of stuff and put it in his house, Richie Rich, or
oh yeah,
someone what I feel like we're talking about. Right?
yeah, I totally do that. Totally hang on the mall, and we got Chuck E. Cheese right up here, so I got video games. I got Mexican food, which is my favorite. So you could definitely make the Mall of Abilene primo.
They got a candy store.
They got candy store. They got, so if you wanted to
Yeah.
pop in, while we saw Wicked the other day.
Why
There you go.
Good combo.
So there you go, Misty's bag. You could make it here. All right, yeah, that's
The best part is it's just your bag, not really Misty's bag. I don't get near this.
Oh, no doubt. You never know. You never know what Misty's going to come and ask. That is for sure. Hey, but be sure you head over to the Mall of Abilene and give them a good eye, so you know the Mall of Abilene. Want to give you those hours. Basically 11 to 8, 9 to 9 on December 22nd. So be sure to post these. That way, you know, come get your shopping done. Again, it's been cool seeing the Black Friday shoppers out here shopping early. I want to know, I need to see one of our regular mallers if it's added like an obstacle, like, you know, if you add anything on a race of, you know, wet roads or a cross country meet. Because I'm telling you, we got some mall walkers faithful and they're here every Friday. I'm wondering if they've added more, like another level of Mario Brothers where it gets each
Mall walkers. That's what they should do.
Hey, there you go. Here. When we come back, we'll have our Tyler Cagle college football report. And we mentioned Incarnate Word earlier. A coach from Incarnate Word now has a new job. We'll be back right after this.
Little emo.
In ball, trying to guard him.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
I think he scored about 30 points that night.
I can tell you that's a mistake. He's probably a better basketball player than he was football.
He was good. I was blown away.
No, he's very, very good basketball.
I coached against him. He was a shallow water.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Little fart. I'll tell you what, done good, and now we're going to.
Well, I think I compare it, and again, I don't mind saying this.
I think QB and running back follow him.
Oh, well, I'm sure unless somebody else won, but that quarterback, that's an amazing story all in itself. But you know, that's kind of the second. Old Kyle Trask played at Florida. He played at Florida, but he played at Manville, again outside Houston.
Yep.
Well, he never played either. Guess who their quarterback was? De'Aaron. And he goes to Florida. They liked him at a camp or something. They take him as a third, fourth quarterback. He never played in high school. Never played until they all got hurt, and then he had to play. Now he's still playing.
What was the guy's name?
He didn't play. He didn't play in high school. He played at USC.
Yeah, okay, but he did play in high school. Okay.
But they didn't get played by college. But that to not play in college is a lot rare. I mean, a lot more understandable than to not play in high school and then get to go to college. I mean, think about how those guys at Florida. Hey, we're giving a kid a scholarship to play.
Who found him then?
I just whoever was, yeah, it was. But I mean, I guess he went to one of their camps and they're like, man, that guy can really throw it. And but that's rare.
That's the maker is the guy from Texas.
Yeah, that's just rare. But unfortunately, unfortunately, probably for a lot of kids, they see those rare moments to them, and it's not gonna,
Right, I mean, it's
99% of the time. And so they get,
Eric won't have to find diamonds in the rough anymore. He'll be able to get
well, yeah, well,
four-star.
but,
But he's gonna have to find money.
but
That,
he's still
those guys are gonna have to pay.
he's still gonna have to find diamonds in the rough if you're at Oklahoma State. You're not at Ohio State.
Right.
You're not, but even take out of the Big 12, you're not Tech, who now has the money to go do what they're doing.
No, you're still gonna have to find a diamond in the rough. And if you do find him, well, now here's the problem though. In today's world, if you do find him, you may not have him very long.
Yeah.
You know, a guy comes in and he sets the world on fire, and you're at Oklahoma State, and Ohio State decides they want him, then, which is ludicrous. But, and that's what we didn't get into the key. You know, the guard, I don't even mind the NIL. I really don't. I think they ought to be paid. I don't think they ought to be paid $1 million, but I think they ought to be paid to play because they're putting their body on the line. And now, do I think they ought to be able to transfer every year to another school? No, that's the guardrail. Even the pros can't change teams. They have a contract, at least for 2 or 3 years. I mean, they have to be. Now they do get to be free agent at some point in time, but they can't be free agents all the time. That's ludicrous. But that's until they figure it out. That's where they are. It's dumb though.
Come back to the Hodgeback. We are an hour brought to you by Coleman County State Bank. Appreciate all they do. Reach out to Tammy, folks, for your mortgage needs. It is time for our Tyler Cagle College Football Report. Tyler Cagle, if you need a lawyer, someone take care of you and help you, y'all, 325-232-8075. And Tyler Cagle and his team will get you taken care of and protect and help you and your family. College football is here. Yesterday was the day of the NFL. Today they got an NFL game. The NFL is trying to take everything away. They said NBA, I'm going to take over this, and now they're taking over Black Friday. Not really taking over, just they still, I think, is very much about college football. At 11 o'clock, you got the Egg Bowl, which is a very important bowl, more important than it's probably been in a long time, as you have Ole Miss and Mississippi State. The Kiffin question, he go, and then of course go to Georgia Tech, and the big one tonight, Texas and Texas A&M. Wanted to mention first, I mentioned it as we were heading into break. Incarnate Word hire. Eric Morris has taken the Oklahoma State job, going into the Big 12. There was some talks that North Texas might find a way to stumble in and be that number 12th seed. Looks like that's probably not going to happen. Thoughts on this hire and the move? It reminds me, I'm not calling them identical twins, but when Coach Golding left to go to UTEP, knew it would be a challenge, but it was also an economic decision to go out that way and an opportunity to be at that level. Morris is heading to Oklahoma State, not too far from shallow water in the grand scheme of things, to the Big 12 with a chance to go be a part of the FB in a group of four, or Power 4 group. Thoughts on this hire and Coach Morris, NFL challenges that he has? We'll start with you, the Texas Tech side, and then go to Wardis with college football.
Well, I mean, I think Elf will be amazing. I assume somebody still calls him that, Leach did. So, but I think from his perspective, he's been a quarterback whisperer, so to speak. You know, he's Cam Ward. Got Cam Ward to come to Incarnate Word, then go to Washington State. And then also this new guy, Mestamaker, who he found kind of, you know, hanging out in a gym somewhere, or maybe an aired out game. I don't know.
No, you didn't find him there,
but at the same time, I think that it's a good move for Eric. I do see the optics of going to, hey, is it that much better of a gig? Well, yes, it is, because now it's a powerful.
I think it's a timing, and I think it's an opportunity, a chance to make up for it. He Cottenheimered and waited ahead and take.
I think at the end of the day, it's the right move for him. He probably can get players to go with him, which will be for him to get some talent there, and that's what they need is they need some guys.
Yeah, well, that and, you know, you never know. If you wait, the good question this year, though, with all these, I think it's a good move for Eric to do that. He's a good coach, fine young man. And I hope it all works out for him. I bet it does. You know, you look at all the openings in college football, who are they going to hire? I mean, everything that's there is, I mean, it's LSU in Florida, da-da-da. Well, that's going to create jobs that are going to be open because they're not going to hire just any guys. Well, so it probably, you know, and Eric was a hot name, but you know, he's a regional guy, and I think this will just be a good fit for him.
Well, and I think he does. He's going to have some connections now. He has a little bit of different than, and of course, obviously younger than Coach McGuire and some of the others. Is that because, and we joked about it. Used to, you didn't get a head coaching job because you were too young and had not enough experience. Now these guys are going straight from playing into a coach. They do a Lincoln Riley. They get, I'm not going to be able to play at this level, so I latch on to learning how to coach and do it at a high level. And so you have these guys. So Eric probably still has a very good connection to Texas high school simply because of playing here and all that will help too. But again, you mentioned it. Penn State's still open. LSU, Florida, UCLA, Arkansas, Auburn, Cal, Oregon. Not that you go to Colorado State, but they hired more vacancies are filled. Okay. I think everybody's looking around to see what Kiflin's going to be the domino that affects the Florida job, the LSU job. Even if he decides to say no and stay, and Alabama sends DeBoer and he goes to Penn State, does Kiffin go to Alabama?
Well,
So I think there's so many dominoes left. The reason nobody else is hired is because they're waiting to see what Kiffin is.
that's possible. I don't know, but well, I guess we could get a hold of Kiffin's agent. He's determining what all's going on anyway. So,
All right, so I'll throw it out. And I wrote it in my notes. I compare it to Live Golf. And you know my stance on Live. He makes $9 million now at Ole Miss. There's a bit of a perk. I don't understand the bit. And again, I've never had life-changing money, and I never had a chance to go from Roby to what would be the equivalent Roby to coaching Duncanville. Never had that chance to change that. But he's at Ole Miss, and he's got a chance to be the winningest coach of Ole Miss history, I think, if he wins one or two more games. A statue's probably already in its chiseled state of being built if he wants it. Is there a benefit of leaving and going to LSU or Florida? Yes, you can tell me $9 million. Get it. There's probably a chance Ole Miss will find a way to get that close. It's worth jumping ship and heading there to where if you go and you kind of don't do enough, I'm not a big Brian Kelly fan, so it's hard to say, well, look what they did to Brian Kelly. They'll send you packing as somebody else. They don't care what you did if you don't win LSU. They don't care what you did at Ole Miss. They don't care anything else. You got to win LSU. What do you think
He's not very on the tarmac again, Kansas State. So I think he needs to remember that.
Well, and I saw
North Florida.
And I saw the Hunter post something really want this guy and we trust his disloyalty. Now I think Honey Badger just wanted to maybe be on TV and get some clicks. I'm not agreeing or disagreeing with that statement. But you're a game away. You should win tomorrow or today. They play today at 11. They should beat Mississippi State. Guaranteed to be in the 12. And Ole Miss wants a decision tomorrow. How do you go and say, you know what, guys, I've made my decision. I'm leaving. I'm going to LSU. Locker room, say, guys,
because they're not going to want you to finish. LSU's not going to let Lane Kiffin do what Oklahoma State's letting North Texas do. Eric's going to finish his year at North Texas. They're not going to do that at LSU. If I'm Lane Kiffin, and maybe I'm just a guy that's not ever experienced that decision, but if I'm in a place I know that I can probably do no wrong unless doing something stupid and lose my job at Ole Miss, I don't leave.
Well, he's going to leave. But after you've won 10 games at Ole Miss and you do get in the college play, and they may win. I mean, they may be good enough to win it all. Who knows? But now what are you going to do then there? What are you going to do? If you get in the playoffs, win, I think you ever got a championship at that school, you've done as good. I'm just playing here. And then you're LSU, they've won 3 national championships under 3 different coaches. So their opportunity is there. And the money, you don't have, hey, when's enough? He's got enough money. And 90 more
So you
million.
think it's more about the challenge than the money?
I think, and I do think that some of those guys, their mind, they do look for the next chapter, but they look for the best opportunity to win the whole thing. And if it's not at Ole Miss and LSU, then or Florida, either Florida's one of them too.
So all right, it's not on our pick 'em, but if it was, got him staying.
He's not staying. I don't know where he's going. If he was staying, he'd already said he's staying. He ain't staying.
I agree. I know Ole Miss fans, but I think it's just quarterback. Not enough's being talked about how good he's been come a quarterback, and this kid that transfers in has been unbelievable.
All right, so in that, all right, pick, what
about Kiffin?
Where is he going?
Kiffin is going to go to LSU.
Okay.
He says LSU. I think he might LSU, but I think his family likes Florida, so he could be in Florida.
I've got him staying. I'll say we'll push him to stay in Florida.
I'll say Florida
Since you got LSU.
Yeah.
I think he stays. I think he's waiting. He's waiting around to see that Alabama. But I think he stays put. And they win today in the Egg Bowl. And then all right. So let's talk about Tech tomorrow. We haven't had you on. Josh feels like if Tech, of course, tomorrow. First of all, what's your concern to Morgantown?
I mean, you're playing a team that has nothing to lose,
and you're in Morgantown.
And kick. I think if it was a night game, let the moonshiners get a little up,
A little more moonshine.
a little rough, but at the same time, I think you're going on the road. You're traveling a long ways away. It's not like you're traveling to Oklahoma, and so from that perspective, the one good thing is we did Tech. I read that Joey only lost 1 game after a bye week. Tech in general has only lost maybe 1 or 2 in 10 years off of a bye week. I think that's going to help a lot.
You didn't see any of that, did you? People or anything like that?
I mean, I miss
Okay, it's good.
So.
Between 6 o'clock this morning and
That's good. Well, that's good. I'd heard there might have been. That's good. That means nobody's missing the week. Okay, so if Tech wins, BU has. Oh goodness.
they have Central Florida.
You see,
All right, so they're probably going to win. If BYU and Tech are in the Big 12 championship, which is likely, right? If Tech loses in the Big 12 championship, they deserve to get them and BYU in.
In my opinion, yes. Yeah, I don't know.
I think it'd have to come down to a field goal. I don't know that we can lose by 10 or 14.
Right. I think of it a problem. Here's the thing that I've said and we'll end on Ronell Wilson, is I think Tech has become a brand because of Cody Campbell. Because of the money that's there. Nuggets Tech before that, but Tech is a brand. And I think Rodriguez adds to the being the player that is kind of the face franchise, if you will, because now people with the mustache, I don't know if he will. I'd like to see him get invited to Lubbock. I mean, to New York. I don't think he's going to have a chance to win the Heisman. Political and from a P standpoint, they should at least invite him to New York for an opportunity. I think deserves to be in because I think they're good enough. My only question is Morton, what's their situation at the quarterback position?
Well, I mean, here's what I'll tell you. Gordon is playing hurt. He has a fracture in his leg. He needed in like the last 14. So when he starts, 14, he is undefeated. And I will say the thing with Barron that I think gets overlooked. Most Tech fans are like, oh, he's not Mahomes. He's not this, not that. He's a winner. And he's playing hurt. He's tough. I do wish that he had had a few less injury breaks over his career. You get to see a little bit more, but at the same time, that's just the way we play a tough game. I mean, football is a hard sport to play.
It's a tough sport, and it's one. And they have one more to finish it off for a chance to play at Jerry's Worst Week in the Big 12 Championship. When we come back, Ronell Wilson, former Tarleton Texan, currently the gas man, the fuel man. We'll be back right after this.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. Somebody, will you grab him? I think he was.
Yeah, he's in Abilene High.
Oh, he went to Abilene High? I didn't know that. All right, so I'm going to have to write down picks. What's up, man? How are you?
Good.
They weren't lying when they said you can still tackle.
Oh, he's still tackling you. Coach Wardus.
Ronald Wilson.
Yeah, that's sweet. I bet that's over to the gym, I think. But Coach Witten's a good friend of mine. I know he's your guy.
Yeah, that's my dad.
He is.
I saw him last weekend. Not last weekend, but I was there last Friday.
Yeah.
Got the chance to talk to him, talking about the team and stuff.
Well, he's really proud of you.
I love it.
I mean, he is super proud of you. And he's a guy. He loves you, so you'll keep doing good.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
All right.
Looking at the stats and things, trying to get, I guess, with some of the answers or some of the picks, but I couldn't find anything on a Paradise.
11-1. Their only losses to like Eagle Mountain or something like that. They've beaten every. I mean, if you look at some of their scores, 30 or 40 every game, but
Well,
never know.
hey,
That's why they line them up.
that's right. I'm playing. Nobody will hold you accountable to you.
Yeah.
I still like the
You can look it up.
You know, nobody's gonna, I don't think anybody's back to say,
Okay, we'll
you
figure
picked
it
that
out.
right there. I think you can say. Yeah, I think we'll go.
Yeah.
Not a shame board if you don't
Yeah, you're right.
That's Eli.
Hey, we used to do a deal. Josh, our regular co-host that's out of town, would do our Smarter Than Grader because his daughter was a fifth grader and had picked games. And but Chip can take a picture of them not smarter than a fifth grader. That was pretty fun. But they're all old now and smart kids, and it's not too bad we made fun of them. All right, Ronell, you and us will share that mic, but we'll kind of come back. We'll talk about your career and what it is to be the fuel guy for race. It is funny because
Travel all over them.
Every week, like,
so it's season.
we'll start back It's the end of January. It's the Clash, and I think it's in like Bowling Green, North Carolina this year. It's kind of but the official kickoff is Daytona, which is the second weekend. Valentine's Day, somewhere around there. Valentine's Day weekend, Daytona 500, and then we'll go all the way up until that first week of November.
Wow. Wow.
It's
Nearly every week.
Yeah, they only
There you go.
they
There's Corey
only ever
James
give,
listening right there.
Father's Day off, unless there's Olympics too.
Wow.
TV right now, and you get 2 weeks.
It's full time. You go
Every weekend, you're in a different spot.
do you, or do you just you come back? Do you come back to a place and then go to the right, or do you go race?
Oh,
Like they do in golf.
you're gonna be in Charlotte home base during the week. Fly out that Friday, Thursday.
Welcome back to the Hot Tech Sports Life and everything in between as we're rocking and rolling 8 o'clock, 30 bottom of the hour right here. We're glad you're with us. We've got Evan Harris and Coach Alan Wardis in Hodge here, and it's time for where we get ready to do some picks. We don't put in make sure Ronell nervous about his picks. We had a celebrity truly in town making things happen on football fields, now around the track. Joining us as our guest picker this week, Ronell Wilson, part of Joe Gibbs Racing. Some of you that are football people know Joe Gibbs as the former coach for the Washington Redskins. Ronell, it's good to run into you and Corey. Corey's watching on our Facebook Live. Appreciate you down and taking time to come hang out with us this morning.
Absolutely, and I appreciate the opportunity to come here, be here, and do this show with you. And yeah, it is very nice, very candid. I got to run into you with my cousin, so I'm appreciative.
Yes, no doubt. So, talk a little bit about what you do. What is it like being part of NASCAR? And again, it's funny. Joe Gibbs Racing. People think of Joe Gibbs. He's kind of like John Madden. There's some kids that grew up John Madden thinking, man, he's just a video game guy. And there's some people that may have grown up Joe Gibbs. He's just a race car guy. Forgot that he coached in the NFL.
Yeah, this man. So we have this big team meeting Tuesday, and this man comes in. This company really supports you guys. You guys, a lot of things happen. It's very cool to be around him. I think he can actually do whatever he sets his mind to. You win Super Bowls and win championships in NASCAR, and then he's in the Hall of Fame of both. And you can see all the hard work. You can hear when he talks to us. Sometimes he'll chew us out, and then he always makes this joke when there's a win, there's a lunch, and then there's a ceremony of raising a banner, and he'll give a little speech, and at the end of every one, he says, "All right, get back to work." And he'll scream at us a little bit. It's a little joke, but it's funny. But yeah.
So what is it like? I mean, when we think again, you two. I mean, we all played high school athletics. You guys played college football and been a part of some big moments. What's that like being? I can't imagine the rush of, cars going 200 miles an hour, just zipping by you and filling them up and airing them up and everything in between.
It's unlike anything you've ever done. I mean, any sport. It's my first pit stop. My hands were shaking so bad. I had to be in the fueler. You have to they calculate fuel weights by math. So they take the gallons, how much the fuel weighs, which is usually about 6.1 pounds per gallon. And so I had to write that down. And at first, like after my first pit stop, my hands are just shaking. But I mean, you don't get tired of it. The tracks make the race experiences different. And I mean, every week there's usually a new winner. So
do you have a favorite pit stop? Kind of get close to that mic there, Cornell. There you go.
Me being a fueler, where I'm gonna give you some fueler bias. A race that depends on you, like Talladega, Daytona, super speedway race, a race that's about 2.5 miles around one lap around the track. I like those races because it puts a lot of pressure on you to perform and succeed. But I think my favorite race to go to, where it's just a lot of action, I like the Miami race, and then I like the race Richmond as well.
Oh, wow. I just can't imagine. I get sometimes nervous making it to the pump right just to fill up my own truck. I can't imagine make sure. All right, got to get you back out there. Let's go. And so, racer wise, so who are you currently working for right now?
So William Sawalich, he is an Xfinity. He works for Joe Gibbs Racing. He's a racer with them, and he Xfinity. So the Saturday series, actually, it's O'Reilly Auto Parts now. Excuse me. They just signed over different sponsorships and rights and things. But I work for him on Saturdays. And then Gio Ruggiero, he's a rookie. Actually, he just won Rookie of the Year. He works for Tricon Garage, and that's just kind of like they're both kids, kind of funny, but they're really cool. They're learning, they're funny, but those guys, and then I'm a backup development pick team. So if someone were to go down, then I would step in and step up.
Of course, I'm a geek, but when it comes to NASCAR, now I'm going to start paying a lot more attention because see, that's what we're here for, education. So real quick, you got a big weekend. You're got a bye. You got a game tomorrow. About the success that you've seen at Tarleton, experience and what they're doing right now.
So I got to Tarleton in 2016. Coach Whitten's first year back as Tarleton's head coach, and that year I got to start as a freshman. Earned that, and I think we went 5-6. And following year, I didn't get to play because I had blew my knee up, my knee crazily on contact, but I didn't get to play the next year. I think we went 6-5, 500, a little bit better. And then 2018, the next year we come back. You add a few players, get some experience, kind of change. Culture changes. So we go 12-1 that year, undefeated conference champs, losing the third round in a wild snow game. The next year we go undefeated conference champs again. We lose in the first round to Texas A&M Commerce, and then COVID happens, and we start the big transition. The presidents start the huge transition into division. So Coach Whitten is very successful. He knows how to build a program. He knows how to recruit the right players. He knows how to help you make you buy in. So he's really fun to play for. I like Coach Whitten much.
Well, again, Texas football, huge college football right now. Lots of games going on. Now it's time to do the tough part. We're going to start picking some games and see what we think.
Let's go.
All right, Coach. So we're going to put that mic kind of put between y'all. Don't want y'all to kiss or anything. Don't be weird.
Ronell's my man.
There you go. All right, so we got high school all across. A lot of folks playing. Jayton's still playing. Gordon's still playing. Cisco's still playing. But the closest one that Josh picked for tonight, the Jim Ned Indians taking on Paradise. A little small connection. Will Brewer, the now superintendent at Jim Ned, was at Paradise. Misty has Paradise. Josh has Jim Ned. Who you got tonight?
I got the Indians.
All right, Coach Wardis, who you got?
I'm going Paradise.
Paradise. Ronell.
I'm going Jim Ned.
I've got Jim Ned too. I think Paradise had some real success. Both boys and girls went to the state tournament last year. Basketball rolling over. I'm going to go with the local. Hopefully it doesn't bite me in. And in the big game tonight, Texas A&M, huge game. I think some implications. A&M probably don't have as much to lose, but you don't want to go not undefeated. Keep that home, keep that bye opportunity. And Josh, both have A&M. Coach Wardis, who you got?
Well, I'm so happy for Texas A&M, and I know a lot of people say they want the Aggie it up, but I don't think they will. I'm going with Texas A&M all the way.
All right, Evan, who you got?
Well, I was really hoping they both get the flu
And cancel the
and they
game?
both lose. But no female cheerleaders, no problem. Give them next.
All right, Ronell, who you got?
Just both teams being from Texas, I don't want to root against anybody, but rivalry game in Austin, chance to ruin it midseason. It's taking the course.
Tell you what, I've got him circled. I'll leave it, but I'm going to agree with Holt. It would not surprise at all if Texas doesn't win, because I think there's a guy wearing number 16 getting more confidence each week, and I know that probably drives some folks crazy. But I'll take A&M. Next, Arizona. In Arizona, Misty and Josh both have the Sun Devils. I'm going to Arizona State as well at home. You got?
I have Arizona State. Jalen's the best player in the game.
Wardis, who you got?
Well, I've got two boys coaching at Arizona. Craig Niver played for us at Hardin-Simmons, and Seth Dagey coming to our camps, and so I'm going with Arizona.
Oh, there you go. Arizona, we got an upset there. Ronell, who you got?
I like Arizona State's head coach, and I like to hear his post-game interviews and all the things he says and thinks about his team and program in Arizona State. So I'm going to go with him.
He's a coach on some of these bigger schools regularly. Maybe try to steal him from the desert. Houston, Evan said he ran into Kendall Browse last night. Had a little stint there at Houston. His daddy had a stint at Baylor. Now his daddy's at Eastern New Mexico. Misty and Josh have the Baptist and the Baylor Bears. I've got the Cougars. I think Houston's a better team than most people think. They had a chance to be some spoiler. And unfortunately, West Virginia beat them at home, which makes me nervous about tomorrow for the Tech game. But I've got Houston. Josh and Misty have Baylor. Evan, who you got?
Yeah, they still have to live in Houston, though, so I've got Baylor.
Oh, wow, Baylor. All right, we got everybody got Baylor so far but me. Fortis?
Well, I'm Sawyer Robertson. You know, he grew up coming to our camps too, and I guess a lot of these I'm picking with my heart, but I'm going with Baylor.
All right, Baylor, who you got?
I'm going with Houston. Like you say, I don't think people realize how good a team they are. And those the games that they've lost, you look at them and, I mean, they've had.
All right, so I've got Houston. All right, here you go. Texas, Virginia, West Virginia. Being at 11 o'clock probably helps the Red Raiders a little bit. I'm going to go. I got the Red Raiders. Josh and Missy have the Red Raiders. I want to see them have a whole playoff game. I want to see them win a Big 12. I want to see the money pay off. I want to see Coach McGuire see the success there. I don't want to have something to cheer about. I've got, I'm assuming.
Yeah, we're going to wreck them. We'll say Jake Rodriguez can get another turnover and a couple sacks.
All right, Coach Waters, you going? Anybody going?
No. I think Tech's got it going on, and their fingers. Tech.
But if the lead gets big enough, you pull Barron as soon as you can.
Yes.
Who you got, run out?
I'm Texas over it. Any Texas school over any other out-of-state school every time. It's just they're playing too well right now.
See Miami, Pitt. Misty has Pitt, has Pittsburgh. They're winning that one. Josh and I both have Miami.
I have Miami too. Lots of talent.
Go ahead, Ronell. Who you got?
I'm taking you. I think they have a lot of extra motivation and synergy for them right now as a team. So
They're going to find a way to get into that.
They are, but not so fast. Not Narduzzi. He'll say not so fast, and you'll go, Pitt's going to win.
Oh, there you go, Coach Waters.
Me and Misty.
There you go, Misty and Coach Waters with Pitt. Michigan, Ohio State. Can Michigan win for a fourth year in a row? It's at home. What do you think?
So I'm going to take this and took it from another guy, but Ohio State is built to win natties. It's built to beat Ohio State, but I'm going to go Ohio State this time. They're going to break the trend.
All right, who y'all got?
Go ahead, Ronell. Who you like?
This is tough. This is very tough. I would like to see Ohio State lose, but just being logical, I believe they're going to win.
Yeah, who you got, Coach?
Well, I've seen Ohio State play live this year, and man, alive those guys, and they are pros. But I'm gonna pick Ohio State.
There you go, Ohio State. Everybody's Ohio State. I've got Ohio State circled. Josh would give me a hard time if I switched it, so I'll stay with it. Everybody's got. Now, this may be a hard one for I'm curious. They're both from Texas. He played at Tarleton. I'm anxious to see what Rod. There's no way. Josh Misty and I both have ACU KP earlier. Again, if you missed that, download, subscribe, rate, review. But I've got ACU winning this one tomorrow. 12 o'clock kickoff. Be there if you can. And Evan, who you got?
I mean, KP and Graham Harrell, both Tech ties.
Fortis.
I'm picking ACU. I think they got it going on right now.
All right, Ronell, we won't, except for all of our millions and millions of listeners. Who you got?
I'm gonna go with you. You know, I like to see them do well, and you know, I want them to succeed. Go Tarleton, roll Tech.
There you go.
You know, I'll throw them a bone.
The bone has been thrown. Vanderbilt, a game that probably most people thought years ago wasn't worth anything. Now, I've got Vanderbilt. I think I'm writing a song in that Vanderbilt. Josh and I have.
I'm going to go
Vanderbilt in the
Rocky Top.
What do you think?
I'm gonna go Rocky Top as well. I don't do a lot of things well. I think they can score, but I also think the same of Tennessee, and I think Tennessee has some leads when it comes to everything.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. But smart money's on Tennessee, but this time, and they're playing at home, they should win. But I'm taking Vanderbilt. Pavia all the way.
All right, me, Josh, and Wardis with Vanderbilt. Eagles. I'm picking the Bears with my heart. Just went with what Coach Ward is saying. The Bears with my heart. I think the Eagles are going to kick off, which means I have no chance of losing this game today. Just remember today. I've got the Bears. Josh, you have the Eagles.
I picked the Bears. One does not look right. I don't know if you're, whatever's going on. They're going to beat the Eagles.
Well, I just can't pick the Bears. That's just, and plus, again, I know I've said this already, but Jalen Hurts, his dad played at Howard Payne right after I was finishing, and known Jalen, and he's come to our camp. So I'm picking with my heart. I'm going with Jalen Hurts and the Eagles.
I don't think it's a bad heart pick.
That's a good one.
Well, I want to first and foremost say, how about them Cowboys?
There you go.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say this. I'm going with the bigger team.
Can't root for
The Bears are gonna pull this. How about them?
There you go, Cowboys. Again, hey, Ron, I appreciate you hanging out. What does the rest of the break look like for you?
So, the off season of NASCAR, our coaches may not have just have us back there practicing, and then I'll get Russ off. So that'll go. So I'm on break. I'm back in Texas now. I don't have to technically report back to practice in the facility.
Which is North Carolina?
Yes, Charlotte, Huntersville, North Carolina. It's
There you go.
as far as how close that is to Charlotte, but I'll report back January, and then we'll get to practicing every day, fixing pit boxes, making sure they have everything they need. Stocking up on all the things we need, issues, making sure the guns and things work. Myself being a fuel, I have to build my can head, and then you just do that up until it's time for the duels and Daytona week, and then the season rolls on for about 37 weeks.
Wow, that's a season. That's wild. All right, well, man, I appreciate you because be sure to see Ronell's loyalty, not but to Texas and the Bears. Download, subscribe, rate, review on the podcast. Appreciate Ronell joining us. Back. We'll head you into the weekend.
Man, good job.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks for not pushing me off stage.
Huh?
Did you not see that a few weeks ago?
Yeah.
Donald pushed McAfee off the stage.
No, yeah.
Find another mall walk through the shop. Find one there.
Somebody. We just recruit people as they walk by.
Hey, I mean, radio show. Yeah.
Went shopping?
Good luck, man.
Appreciate it.
All right.
You guys
Appreciate it.
appreciate it. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. Same here.
Hey, man, good luck. You know, what people don't realize, you talk about working out and everything else, but, you know, those guys on Herschel Walker, when you push the luge and all that, I mean, I bet a lot of you guys are ex-athletes.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, a lot of the teams that kind of recruited old athletes, a lot of pro baseball players. I did a do CFL.
How about that? And these people have been in it.
For sure.
Yeah, because it's fast and good.
It's wild. I mean, now it's about 8.5 seconds stop. So if you don't do that every time, it's not.
Wow. Okay, man. See you later.
See everyone out.
That's crazy. I bet that. Here's how do teams like Walden, Denton, Ryan, Argyle continue to keep success going?
Yeah.
Well, just make sure the bus gets there for most of them.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
just-
that's what we're gonna end that. We'll end it with that.
Just make sure the bus.
Hey,
gets there.
real quick,
I didn't watch the game last week against Ryan, but man, they put on.
I picked Jim Ned, Ron Jim Ned. Everybody picked Jim Ned.
I did not pick
Wardis
Paradise.
picked Paradise.
Well, I know, but I'm
Ronell picked Texas.
oh yeah,
You picked A&M.
I picked A.
Wardis picked.
I picked Arizona. I put Baylor. Ronell took Houston. I took Tech.
Nobody
I
took West
Tech.
Virginia.
Yeah, I had Tech, man. They got it going on.
You picked.
Pick Pitt.
Evan, you picked. Nobody
They have a lot of talent, but I will say they're a good coach.
He is.
got everything
He's
there.
hard nosed. He's like a class of.
Massive setup here.
Yeah, about 11 o'clock. We'll turn on the egg bowl.
I was wondering if you had work today.
You got, how many TVs you got to play?
We got two. We did one that I can see from my desk. Here that I can see. So,
Well,
and then
Parkersburg that I grew up with, he's branches for Citibank in Lubbock. And he got TV in his office there.
oh yeah.
I mean, it's just at the end, I mean, I go, what do you do all
Is that
day?
Chris's dad?
Chris's dad, yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, he played ball at Tech whenever I was there.
I said, hey, man, what do you just watch Fox News? You go, I watch whatever I want. I got cable on my, I turn it over to the game or whatever. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Plus, I don't know,
Welcome back to the Hodgepodge Sports Life and everything in between, right here on 106.9 in Country John again. Appreciate Greg Austin and the fam getting the studio looking good, very well for Christmas. We got a lot of folks shopping Black Friday deals here in the Mile of Abilene. Be sure you get over here as well. Appreciate Ronell Wilson coming in and hanging out with us, do some picking. Appreciate him. Appreciate Corey James helping make that happen today as well. We talked earlier, and I do agree with this. Didn't get to mention it, that the right move was Eric Morris taking that job. It was right of a move it was next season, what he can do. But if you want to make the right move with a realtor, call Phil Hill, 325-669-5153. With the right move, you'll call Phil. He'll get you in the right house and make the right move happen for you. Coach, we put this in here. Evan, we put it in. We only had the one high school game that Josh had on there, the pick, Paradise and Jim Ned. Last week, Evan, you mentioned it. You didn't get to watch any of it or see it, but you saw Denton Ryan had a big win against Abilene High last week, our against Cooper. And there's just teams at all levels. Jim Ned. But I put in the rundown, things like Wall, Denton Ryan and Argyle makes sense. South Lake Carroll makes sense. It's metropolitan areas, but they keep recycling and continuing. How do you guess? But Jayton, not the case. They keep Jayton, not in areas in Jayton or Gordon. Walls, the same. But they keep finding ways to succeed at levels at a very high level. What do you think is the secret? Coach?
Well, I mean, of course, Gordon right now, Gordon plays 6-man, and they got 3 great athletes, and they're gonna win. They're gonna win again. And Wall kind of the same way. Wall's got that little community, and they're recycling. And so those teams are doing very well. I really honestly think Denton Ryan and Argyle and some of those teams have a little harder path because they're fixing to be playing some better teams. Wall and Gordon, I think they got a great chance to go all the way. Wall's going to run into Gunner at some time, Canadian, but those Metroplex teams, they're going out there districts. So I don't know. They got good.
And Ryan runs into Alito.
Yeah, they're probably, that may be.
Alito is the same boat.
It is.
They great athletes playing at high levels, and they're like, if we don't get the Jerry World, the season came up short. As opposed to a lot of teams, if you go 3 rounds making that statue, we talked about Lane Kiffin at that school, that you do want to win it all, but you don't have to win it at those other places.
Yeah, no, I mean, you hit the nail on the head, but I mean, at the same time, I think a lot of it is you're recycling the talent, but your coaches' talent, but coach ingredients to become that. And, you got to get them up and execute. And like Coach Ward has said, they have a real good shot at making it Jerry World. They just need to tend to business each and every week.
Yeah, and again, you look at the app today at 6 o'clock. If you want to watch some big school football, Odessa Permian and Allen are playing at Shotwell at 6 o'clock. And you look at Odessa Permian, they're kind of like Nebraska, and maybe even kind of like Wisconsin, Barry Alvarez days. At one time, we all know Friday Night Lights, Odessa Permian was the blue blood. Allen, Kyler Murray, and the one high school and all things, a blue blood now playing here tonight. And then, of course, we mentioned Jayton and Gordon. You mentioned Gordon. I mean, they're playing 11-man football. They're playing 6-man football. They're asking you what football you want to play, and they're still finding ways to win. And I still think it'd be cool somehow for Jayton and Gordon to play, then both of them go play for a state championship. Because I don't think there's anybody that can stop either of those two teams.
Yeah, I mean, they got a lot of ball. Of course, I played Jayton basketball for a few years with my cousin coaching up there. They've got Stanley and all the other kids, and I love to watch them play like they did in basketball against Striker Reed and those guys from Gordon.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Again, tonight you can go to Wiley is hosting Paradise and Jim Ned. I'll tell you another good game that's going to be in that's going to be at the Mustang Bowl tonight. Midland, Greenwood, and Graham. And Coach Hill, who was at Wiley, was a DC at Wiley a couple years ago, has them rolling. They've got a little quarterback that, I don't know if he's little, but I mean, that guy could go. He's number 1 and runs about like Kyler Murray.
They're good. They're doing very well.
So there's a chance tonight. You're not only going to need to have your NFHS, your Texas and A&M game. You may need a TV roaming back and forth for some high school games because there's a lot in the area.
Well, maybe it'd be a good night to take part of your bag and go to Best Buy and just be able to watch them all on different TVs.
Yeah, buy a bunch of TVs and log on. The only thing is I don't think NFHS will let you figure out a way to have multiple games up. That's one thing they need to figure out, because if you log in and put it at 2 places, I don't think they let you do that. I don't know.
Well, I don't either, but Derek Long will figure it out.
Yeah, no doubt. That is no doubt. Derek will figure out a way to make sure he's watching.
Borrow your buddy's account and then you have 2 up.
That's right.
Yeah, be sure they're not logging in as well. Coach, Evan, appreciate y'all taking time today. We were full of football, fun, and a lot more football for the weekend. Again, we appreciate Coach Patterson coming in. Don't forget tomorrow's kickoff, 12 o'clock at ACU, as Lamar comes to town as well. But have a good one.
Thank you.
Figure out a way to get that cornbread dressing made. I'll come by and maybe eat some.
Thanks, Hodge. Reckon.
All right. There you go. Big weekend. Josh, Misty will be back next week. December's here. Come shop at the mall. Enjoy. JB and Jones will be back here on Monday for you. Have a great one. Don't forget to download, subscribe, rate, and review the Hodgepack Cast. We'll see you next week. More Hodgepack, sports life, and everything in between.
All right, that was a good job.